Hello, viewers. Welcome back to The Voice Show here at Science TV. My name is Videlis Njoki. This show comes to your screen on Friday at 7:30 p.m. and the repeat is always on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. So to the people who have been supporting this show, thank you so much and continue giving that support through our social media platform. Like, comment, and share. And today we have a visitor. Could you kindly introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
My name is Sandra Jumponda from Malawi. I am disability rights advocate. I do work with network of girls and women with disabilities in Malawi. I'm also a board member of the network, and I'm also a board member of Parents of Disabled Children in Malawi. And on top of that, I'm a online student. As you can see me, I am deaf blind. In video. Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome so much, Sandra from Malawi. So before we continue, I would like you to to tell us your experience from the time you came to Kenya. Tell us anything good in Kenya, and also what are the culture shocks that you've experienced here in Kenya?
As for me, the good thing in Kenya, what I've noticed is that the country is advanced in a disability sector in terms of reasonable accommodation. I have seen that even the test we are is accessible to a person like me. I've seen braille dots on the elevator there, which is so wonderful. And the weather is so good. Yeah.
I'm happy that you are enjoying your stay in Kenya, and also the few days that you are here to participate in the conference that you've come to participate in. So you've said that you are an advocate for girls, a network of girls, and also at the same time, you say that you are a person who is visually impaired. So how is accessibility in Malawi compared with the few days that you've stayed in Kenya?
The accessibility in Malawi is not much inclusive. We are behind with the reasonable accommodation. For example, I remember this other time I was at this certain college in Malawi. So that school, you can say that is a vocation training center for persons with disability. But unfortunately, if you can see the school itself, it doesn't accommodate a person who is blind like me, because there wasn't no teachers, even the resources. So I have seen a lot of change. Even our hotels in Malawi, there are few ones with road dots, tactile, compared from here. Yeah.
Wow, that is very motivating. And so I want to ask you, could you kindly share your journey as an advocate, and also what you want to happen in future, or any changes that you would like to be done in future?
My journey as an advocate, it has been so good. Since I use the opportunity that I have, like I use Facebook to write some articles on advocating the rights of women and girls with disabilities, in ending violence against us. And also, I also use the opportunity of TikTok by creating some videos so that people can see that we can, and they should not have that negative attitude towards us. Yeah, thank you so much. Mm.
I can see that you're using social media to make sure that we have inclusion and also to see how we can improve on these different sectors. So, do we have any stakeholders in Malawi who are for advocating for inclusive policies, inclusive laws in public areas, in private sectors, and also accessibility for persons who are vision impaired?
Yeah, we have them. We have FEDOMA, which is an umbrella body for OPTs in Malawi. Uh, and also MACODA, Malawi Council for Disability Affairs. They are working on it so that any person with a disability can have an inclusive environment, equitable one that can be able to make her to have a reasonable accommodation.
I can see that we have organizations that support and make sure that that is done and also it's practiced. But do we have any policy from the government or policies that have been developed in Malawi on accessibility or reasonable accommodation provided to persons with disability to ensure that services that persons with disability want are accessed easily? Or do we don't have any barriers around?
The policies, they are there. I remember we have a Disability Policy Act, which was just reviewed in 2024. And the only thing, the policies, they are there and would be implemented. That is the only challenge that we have in Malawi. But little by little, the organization of persons with disability, they are trying their best to make sure that persons with disability cannot be left behind.
Okay. Yes, I also agree with that, where you're saying that they're launching policies, we have policies, but the problem comes in the implementing part. So for now, let's take a short commercial break. We'll be back to discuss more with our guests from Malawi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. And let's continue with our discussion with our guest from Malawi. She's visually impaired and she has been talking to us about her journey of advocacy. So now back to our discussion about having good policies but the major issue is they are not being implemented. So I wanted you to share with us what are some of the actions you're working to ensure that these policies on, for example, accessibility. For example, you talked about the year 2024, the acts that are being revised. So, how are you working on them to make sure that they better the life of persons with disability?
Thank you so much for your wonderful question. Well, I think so. The government itself, they should take action on how they can help persons with disabilities in terms of education, health sector, and also social justice. We can see that if the government is not taking action, they just leaving the person with the disability behind, which makes us not to be like visible in decision making laws. So it's good to take action. Also, as we persons with disability, by raising our voices, so that actions should be taken right away. Otherwise, if we keep quiet, nothing is going to happen. And there is this other say that says that change it begins with us. So as we take action, then the government itself, they will be able to accommodate our reasonable accommodation that we need. Okay.
It's true that the government needs to wake up and change these change some things, especially when it comes to decision making, because we have to understand nothing for us without us. And I really agree with you. So this brings me to another question about social justice. So social justice and also education system. Is education friendly for persons with disability in Malawi, for example, in schools? Or does Malawi have a program that shows that education is accessible to each student or with each child without any barrier or any challenges?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
So, earlier on, you talked about or mentioned about the education system and also social justice. And now I am focusing on the education part. I want to ask you a question. Does the government of Malawi has a program which supports and ensure that each child with disability accesses education without any barriers because of their disability?
Thank you so much for your question. Yes, there is some specialist school. It's a college whereby uh, other people who are qualified, like teachers, most especially teachers, they go there for a training so that they can know how to handle a person with a disability, but they didn't recruit many just because the school itself it doesn't enroll with many students. So this makes school for persons with disability to easily acquire accessible in education. And also, like now, they are taking action in terms of they are introducing the curriculum whereby um, uh, those who are being trained in teachers' colleges, they can also have an extra classes whereby they can learn sign language so that they can easily communicate to those who are um, deaf speaking.
I see that they're really trying. So could you possibly share you as a person with visually impairment, any positive achievements that you've had in this field of disability?
Anyone?
Positive achievements or any success that you've had as a person with visual impairment. Because, for example, we have people who are vision impaired or blind or have a disability out here and have given up on life because of the challenges that they go through. But through your success story, they can pick one thing, they can learn one thing or another.
Okay, as a different person, um, I can encourage my fellow friends with a disability that don't look down upon yourself. No for the opportunity. Don't limit your challenges. I remember myself. Didn't born like this. Disability just came out when I was 17 years backwards. But because of the courage that I have, the organization of persons with disabilities, which I collaborate with, I have the courage that disability is not inability. You can make it. Change starts with you. So don't limit yourself. Don't ever hate negative attitudes from others, but you should focus and commit whatever you want in life. You can be able to achieve it. Yeah, that's all that I can say. Never look down upon yourself. I am a testimony of myself because that time I was in high school in football. When I was about to write exams, but I just lost my sight suddenly. But because of the courage that I have and the support, it makes me who I am today. And also, I'm continuing with my education right now. I'm studying online degree. So you can see that it's possible as long as you have a positive uh, attitude. You can move forward no matter what barriers you face in life. Thank you.
I love the message that you've said that with a positive attitude, everything you can achieve anything you want in life. Because without a positive attitude, you'll find that you're stuck in life. So, any message you'll want to give people, the donors or your role models, any message that you give to the donors and your role models?
I would like to thank our donors, Radiwa, Kovog, and UN for their support. So without them, the would make it to be here. But because of their support, we have been able to amplify our voices as women and girls with disabilities. So this should be a lesson from other organization that does not include persons with disabilities in making decisions, so that they can give their say, and their voices shall be heard. And also, this is what I can say. Yeah, thank you so much for your
Thank you so much for your time. And also thank you so much for accepting to be part of this interview. And to our viewers, I hope you've enjoyed the show. But before we come to the end, do you have any one last